Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for April 24th, 2025. It's the eve of the 2025 NFL Draft, so obviously going to talk about the NFL Draft. Going to get into the latest that we've heard. Some new NFL Draft prop bets that I got from Charlie. I just texted him a few minutes ago, we heard some stuff, so I'll pass that along. Going to look at the odds as well. It's going to be a fun show tonight. Flying solo, and I was trying to get a guess because kind of like my throat's a little sore, I'm a little stuffed up, so might be a little tough to go in more than an hour. Plus, I have to finish my mock draft and basically my final mock draft, and also maybe go to New Jersey again to play some bets. So if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them here. I'll get to them as usual. When I'm flying solo, I'll answer anything. Before we get started, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It's our navy blue Walter football t-shirt, which you can find here, right here. This is 20% off, 20% off everything, including our mugs and the apron. You can change colors. You might be like, where's this navy blue shirt? You can change the colors to like anything. You can get like a pink shirt if you want. So we have tons of options here, lots of cool stuff. You can go to Amazon, buy my book. The latest is Jerks to the College Years, where I made fun of people I met at Penn State for 6 years. So I had a lot of fun writing it, and I think you guys have a lot of fun reading it. Also, please consider super chats. We had some great ones yesterday from the Degeneron. Before that, we had Slew, John Sanders, Can't Make an Eagle. And prior to that, we had Armac, the Boss, Karmic. Just so much help from you guys. Like, we really need it because YouTube ads pay nothing. I always say that, and it's true. YouTube ads it's like we get lucky. It's like $1 for an episode with those super chats. So any help you can give us is greatly appreciated. So what I'm planning to do here is run through the odds, go team by team, and then as I go through the teams, I'm going to talk about some draft props that Charlie passed along that he's betting. Just because, like, there were like 3 or 4 that he mentioned, but like, I don't want to forget it. And then, like, if I mentioned it first, then I'd have to go back and it kind of be like repeating the content, So I think it would make more sense just to address it team by team. So we'll go to FanDuel because I think that's like the easiest thing to look at here. Obviously, you need to get the best odds. I always say that. Unfortunately, I couldn't access Caesars or DraftKings when I was in New Jersey yesterday. If you guys saw my tweet, I was at the Trenton Thunder Baseball Stadium again. It's the first time since Rainmakers got shut down in July or August, whenever it was. So it was like seeing an old friend again. I was like, I feel at home. But it's still a rough neighborhood, so I still wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. As I was doing so, like, I couldn't log into DraftKings. No, I couldn't. I could log in. It just couldn't like get my location for some reason, even though I was definitely in New Jersey. I even restarted my phone and I updated the app too. It just didn't work. Caesars wouldn't log me in for some reason. That was really frustrating. BetMGM worked, but it was so slow. BetRivers didn't work either, so I had to do FanDuel and BetMGM only. Which I guess is like better than nothing, but still it's a little frustrating. So anyway, we have the top pick, not worth talking about here, except Cam Ward is now minus 50,000. So if you're bold enough to bet $100 on Cam Ward, you're going to win 20 cents. So if you have a grand lying around, you could win $2. It's a free $2, right? Or you could just sell covered calls. That's it's a better way to make money, which we're going to do an episode about that during the summer. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, very educational, and it's going to be a great way to make money very safely. Number 2, Travis Hunter's minus 1350. Nothing here. I expect it to be Hunter, so we really don't need to dwell on that. Number 3, Aldo Carter, same thing. I'm kind of surprised that Shador Sanders is still here. 9-1. He's not going to be the pick. So Abdul Carter minus 750. I actually think I like Ashton Zenty might be the better pick because some team could trade up to the Giants. I don't expect that to happen, so like don't look to bet it unless you like really want to take a long shot here. But 30-1 is definitely better than Sanders' 9-1. It's just way more realistic, but I still expect this to be Carter. Brandon says I found a post I made about the Texans will take a left tackle in the first round over 11 months ago. So we'll find out if my post is correct. Yeah, we will. They could do it. Josh Conley might be the pick, but we'll see. It it was Tony Pauline who said the Texans wouldn't pass on Emeka Egbuka if he was available. So that could be true too. So we'll see who's right. All right. So number 4, Will Campbell is minus 550. Charlie said he would bet it. He was on yesterday. If you missed that episode, definitely watch it. Like Charlie provided such great info. So yeah, it definitely the favorite here for good reason. Again, like some team could trade up for Gentry. That could happen, but it sounds like the Patriots are definitely locked in on Will Campbell. Number 5. So Charlie bet this. I'm gonna actually get the text here so I can properly say it. So it is. So he bet. He bet Ashton Gentry to go 5 and to the Jaguars. Unfortunately, the odds were much better yesterday. It was plus 115. That's what I got in New Jersey. Now it's minus 185. Now maybe you could find something better on another book. Maybe like you could probably find a minus 175 or minus 160. But still minus 185 still decent. It's not like great. You may have missed the boat here. So maybe make a smaller bet than you would have done normally, but I'd say Gentry is still pretty safe to go number 5 to the Jaguars. I think they may try to trade up for Banks, who was out for the Texans. Yeah, I can see that. Having issues like placing Banks exactly, and we'll talk about him in a second here. So we get to the 6th pick. So Kelvin Banks is the favorite here, and I actually got a couple messages asking me to talk about this. So here I am. Charlie yesterday said his favorite bet was Armand Membu at plus 260. Now, I raced to New Jersey after the show because when Charlie was on, he announced it was his top pick. It was plus 260 then it dropped to plus 230, then dropped to plus 200, and then by the end of the show, it was plus 150. That's insane. The amount of pull Charlie had there. It was I'm sure a lot of people just started betting it. FanDuel was ah, crap. BetMGM did not really update their odds. It went to plus 220. I still got it at plus 220 in New Jersey. So that's I wanted to race to New Jersey to bet it. And I felt smart because I woke up and it was plus 150 on BetMGM in the morning. So I'm okay, I did well. Now it's plus 260. So I actually didn't get the best number. I could have waited until tonight. I'm going to New Jersey again, just based on the intel I got from Charlie here. I think I might bet this again. Now that it's plus 260, Charlie's pretty confident about it. Kelvin Banks is the favorite because Daniel Jeremiah mocked him to the Raiders. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like I trust Charlie over this. Charlie actually has sources there. Not that Daniel Jeremiah doesn't have sources, but I don't think he necessarily has sources with the Raiders. Now, maybe he talks to someone else, but I would trust Charlie on this. Charlie has been the most accurate draft analyst for the past decade. So plus 260 for Membu sounds great considering that I was racing to New Jersey to bet plus 220. So pretty happy about that. Still think the Raiders take Sanders. Not in the first round, maybe second round, but not in the first. Are the Steelers interested in Sanders? No, they're not. They're not taking Sanders. But so many people say they're not taking Sanders. I trust. So first of all, Aaron Wilson said it. Aaron Wilson's just a great NFL reporter overall. Then great Jerry Dulac, who's covered the Steelers for a long time, and he's gotten a lot of things right about the Steelers over the years. Just because the Steelers are pretty transparent when it comes to the media and whatnot, releasing their info, and so I don't expect him to be the pick. And then there was something else today about Shore Sanders. I can't remember who it was. I'm actually looking it up right now. So it was Peter Schrager from ESPN. He said the Steelers don't like Shedeur Sanders. So I don't think it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. I'd be pretty surprised if they take Sanders at all. I think they're going defensive tackle. It sounds like they also love Nick Amanawari, but they don't need a safety. But they actually love him as a prospect. So if the 3 defensive tackles off the board, Amanawari could be a surprise pick. I don't know how they use them because they have 2 really good safeties, but I don't know. Maybe they'll get creative somehow. Ryan says after Daniel Jeremiah releases mock, Kelvin Banks showed up. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. I mean, Daniel Jeremiah has been the 3rd most accurate mock drafter over the past decade. But Charlie's been number 1, so I'll trust Charlie on this one. Pollyanna says, how do you like Sanders over 21.5 plus 130 at Bet365? Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I've had an issue logging into Bet365. I can't log in. Again, it can't. I can log in. It just can't find my location here. It's not New Jersey. Maybe I should try New Jersey, but I tried logging in on my computer here on Chrome. It didn't work. I tried like Firefox, didn't work. I tried my phone, it didn't work. For some reason, it can't find my location at all. But I did get my location in New Jersey, like when I first signed up. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I signed up in New Jersey. I have to figure that out. But I love that number for sure. As Sergeant Raider says, who has been right about first round quarterbacks in the past 4 years? I'm not sure. What do you mean by that exactly? I have to scan a QR code to place a bet. Finds limitation. Yeah, so annoying. Just let us bet everywhere. I hate these stupid laws. Just like, I don't know. But then again, I'm the most libertarian person you ever talk to. So like, I'd say like you can just bet whatever, whenever you want. Any chance the Bears stay and take Mason Graham? That's who I have in my final mock draft. Well, penultimate mock draft. Like I'm gonna post this final mock draft in the morning. It's gonna have Graham to the Bears. But I might make a change in the afternoon depending on like some late info that we might get from Charlie. So anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, anyway, I was still bet Membo. I'm gonna bet Membo again. Number 7, Membu is the favorite here. I assume it's because of the ramifications from the 6th pick. I assume the reason why Membu would be the pick here. Well, I want to say, so I actually mean Banks. Like Banks popped up at plus 550. Membu, ramification of the 6th pick as far as like if Banks goes there, Membu would be available at 7. But I still trust Charlie that Membu would be gone at 6. So Charlie, something he wrote is he bet a unit on Tyler Warren, Mason Graham, and I get this correct, and Kelvin Banks. Now, I actually replied to him. I'm like, well, I bet Warren and Graham, which I posted on the site, and I didn't bet Banks. And he said, you're probably smart not to bet Banks. So that was just like third option there. But like, look, if you bet all 3 of these, you're going to win no matter what. Now, if you bet 2, you're going to win more no matter what, unless it's someone else. But I'm pretty confident it's going to be Warren or Graham. Number 8, this is something else Charlie bet. Jalen Walker is still plus money, so that's pretty good. Unless there's like a trade or something, I'd expect this pick to be Walker. The Panthers are another team that's been transparent. Like everyone knew Xavier Legette was going to go there last year. Jalen Walker is definitely the favorite for a reason, and I think plus 110 is pretty reasonable. I think anything is like as lower than minus 150 is reasonable for Walker. Just feels like it's almost like a done deal almost. Now, like Walker could be off the board potentially, and that's like the only foil. But I think if Walker's here, he's definitely gonna be a pick. Number 9. So Charlie posted a rumor saying that the Saints were all over Michael Williams. Now, this is not one of his better sources, unfortunately. So there's no way of knowing if this is going to come to fruition, but he's the favorite, I guess, for a reason. It makes sense. I mean, I've seen so many other people mock him there. I bet Shamar Stewart 10-1 just because it makes so much sense. The Saints love their super athletic edge rushers. And like Stewart, who just wasn't productive at all in college, but I said this before, like I feel like defense coordinators are going to look at him and be like, wow, I could turn this guy into Bruce Smith. So I think that he's going to be a high pick. He's so talented. He just physically talented. He just hasn't done anything for some reason. So I think that like he's like the typical guy that the Saints take. Now I think the pick could be Tyler Warren as well, but I don't have him on the board. I'm going to have him going to the Jets at 7. All right. So number 10. As I said before, I have Mason Graham going here. I think I bet Mason Graham. I don't think I actually bet this. Mason Graham 11-1. I think I might bet that. I'm not sure. The problem is like that's not source information. I just think that there's a decent chance he falls to the Bears, and if he's there, it feels like he's got to be the pick, right? Like he'd be the best player available if it's a big need. I don't know. Like the Bears usually like to take athletic players, like super high RAS players, and I don't think that I don't think Mason Graham's relative athletic score was like super high. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I think that like even though he doesn't fit that from that perspective, I think that he would still make a lot of sense at number 10. Let's see, no Michael for the Saints at 9. Yeah, no, I mean Charlie said that he heard Michael to the Saints, but that's not a great source. Let's see. Membo was my OT1. Yeah, I think Membo could be awesome. I think both he and Campbell are great. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with what Bagley says. I think 7, 9, and 10 is either Graham, Warren, Banks, or Warren, Banks, Graham. Yeah, I think that you're right there. Although I think you could put in defensive end too. I think that Warren and Graham will definitely be 7, 9, and 10. I don't know the third player is. I don't know if it's going to be Banks, though. Like, Banks could slip to 11, and I think that's kind of interesting. And that's going to be another draft prop that I'm going to get to in a second. What's going on with Walter Nolan's odds at 8? Some chatter about him in the top 10. Let me look at that. So yeah, I mean 8. No, eight's going to be Jalen Walker. I don't know why. So he's 12-1. Still not like high enough. I don't know. Like, who else could it be, right? I don't know. I think this is gonna be Walker no matter what. I don't think it's like worth sweating over it right now. Is there a chance Williams goes to the Jets? Apparently they like him. Williams going to the Jets. Do they like him? Like, I don't know. I mean, I like maybe that makes sense. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they took him, but maybe it surprised me a little bit. I mean, with like Tyler Warren and Mason Graham available, like feels like a worse player, you know. All right. Question 9, why is Booker getting bet there? Any news? Haven't heard that at all. Yeah, that would be surprising. Let me see Booker at 9. He's plus 750 to go 9? That's what? It's ridiculous. What? Who like someone was drunk and put this in? I don't know. That's crazy. I don't see why Booker will be bet at 9. Everything like, you know, we've heard like is, you know, it's defensive end or tight end. I guess Mason Graham makes sense too, but they took Brian Brisset recently. So yeah, that's strange. I don't know. We expect Booker to fall to the 20s, so that's bizarre. What's the reasoning for Graham dropping? He was minus 120 to go 5 for a month. Yeah, I mean, it's because Genty is almost certainly going to go to the Jaguars at this point. Well, I should say like almost certainly, but like certain enough that like Charlie put a big bet on him on Genty going to Jacksonville. So I'm pretty confident about that. It was an NFL rumor that you published. Well, if I published it, I don't know. Did I publish it? Let's see. I don't see anything about that. I just looked at Booker. I see the Lions like Booker, the Colts like Booker, but positional value will make them look elsewhere. Texans have nailed their position, nailed down their selection to Tyler Booker or Kelvin Banks. That's from Daniel Jeremiah. I forgot if I wrote about that. I've heard that the Texans really like Booker too, which presents a problem because the Lions like him a lot. So the Lions might do what they did last year, is trade up for an Alabama player. So we'll see about that. But as far as the Saints, no. Thoughts on Benjamin Albright having Henderson to the Broncos at 20? He's going to the Broncos, can really get a Hampton. Personally, I'm a Henderson fan too. I trust our Denver guy over Albright. I mean, Albright blocked me on Twitter because he's a wuss. I don't even know why he blocked me. I don't think I ever even like interacted with him. But like one day, like one of his tweets popped up in like a quote tweet, and I clicked on it and it said like I couldn't reply. I'm like, oh, he blocked me? Like why? Like why? I feel like anyone who blocks someone on Twitter is like has the mentality of a 12-year-old girl. Like I don't think I've ever blocked anyone in my life. Like unless it was like a porn spammer or something that was just annoying. But like I never blocked like a real person ever. I just don't see a reason to. It feels like an emotional response. And that's why I say it's a 12-year-old girl. So yeah, I mean Benjamin Albright, like I don't really respect him. You know, he said some interesting things in the past before, I guess, but like he's not a very good reporter. He's gotten a lot wrong too. So yeah, no. I like I said, I trust our Broncos guy over him. Our Broncos guy has gotten us a lot right over the years. Okay, let's go. So unfortunately, we can't bet on the number 11 pick, which is really frustrating because we got some intel from about San Francisco. So let me go to San Francisco here. So this is not a direct source, but it's one of our top sources. And this source has a good friend who works in the Niners front office. This friend told the Denver guy, Broncos guy, that the Niners really like Walter Nolan. Now, I wonder if they would take Nolan if Kelvin Banks is available. And that's the dilemma I have in my final mock draft. And Charlie and I were actually talking about that. Um, yeah, like over text, like past couple hours. We're like, do we slot Nolan here, or is it like Banks because they do need an offensive lineman? Banks might be considered the better player available, or do we trust like a secondhand source? It's not like a direct source. If it was a direct source, I think I'd go Nolan, but it's a secondhand source. But it's from the second hand. The first hand is a great source for us. So I don't know what to do here, but it sounds like they love Nolan. Also, I know their defensive line coach was like ranting and raving about Shamar Stewart. So that could be another out for defensive line edge. So it's not a sexy number, it's minus 120. But it sounds like the Niners are looking there. But again, they could take Banks if he slips. So that's like my only trepidation, but I think it's definitely worth a bet. I might bet this. Just as a hedge. What I might do in my mock draft, I might still put Banks there and just hedge it with this minus 120. So, I mean, either way, just something works out, right? All right. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about that. Like what I should do in my final mock draft, just because I'm very torn at the moment. So Merry Draftmas, yeah, Merry Draftmas to you and everyone else, absolutely. Your view on QB under 2.5 quarterbacks. We bet that yesterday. Wow, you think the Niners take Nolan over Grant? Yes, yes. Everyone I talk to says Nolan over Grant. Teams that need defensive tackles that we trust, they all have Nolan over Grant. So I think that Nolan doesn't make it past Arizona at 16. That's where I have Nolan right now. Our source with Arizona says the Cardinals love him. But he might not be available. And that's the other thing, where like, I don't know if I want to put Nolan to the Niners because I know Arizona loves him. So, and like if somehow magically someone crazy drops to Arizona and they take him over Nolan, like Cincinnati sounds like they like him too. So I don't think that he's getting past 16 or 17. Whereas Grant, I think, is going to fall to the 20s now, just based on like where everyone ranks him. Do you think that Gray Zabel over Bama Campbell? I mean, for what? Depends on the team, So then Grant to the Cardinals and Harmon to the Steelers, and vice versa. I would say Harmon to the Cardinals in that case, and then I would say Grant to the Steelers. That's how I think it would go. But I do think it's going to be. I'm still going to say Nolan to the Cardinals, and then I'm going to say Harmon to the Steelers, and I'm going to Grant fall to the Chargers, because I think the Bengals are going to take Josh Connolly, just based on what I heard. What about Johnson under 17 and a half? You said the Cardinals will take him. No, I have updated info. I asked my source today, actually, in the afternoon. I'm like, just based on the updated injury and the workout with Johnson, would the Cardinals still take Johnson over Nolan? He said no, they would take Nolan. So I think Nolan's going to fall. I'm going to have Nolan out of the first round. I think he's going to drop a lot. I actually saw Daniel Jeremiah has him out of the first round too, so it's not that crazy. Gavin says I had minus 140 for Gray to go before Campbell. Yeah, I think probably, yeah, probably. I think it's not a bad bet. DraftKings minus 300. Well, tell us where you have minus 140 because that's a good value. Okay, so the 12th pick, I guess the Niners I'm not sure what to make of that. Like again, secondhand information, right? Anyway, let's go to Dallas here. Dallas is the 12th pick, and I expect it to be Tedero and McMillan. Receivers minus 200, so not a lot of value there. I'd be surprised if it's not McMillan or Golden, unless like something insane happens and Genti falls to them. I don't see that happening. Obviously, I think we think he's going to go number 5, at the very least 10 to Chicago. So he's not going to make it to Dallas, unless like Dallas trades up, and like that could be the issue there. But I'd be pretty surprised if it's not receiver. All right, so Miami. I heard something interesting from Miami. So cornerback, I think, looks pretty good. I heard from an old Dolphins source of mine. I haven't like really spoken to him in a couple years, and I just reached out to him today. He thinks that Jahdae Barron is the pick to Miami. And if it's not Johnny Barron, he thinks it's gonna be Will Johnson. And he kind of said that like Stephen Ross has like no issues taking injured players, which is like the reason why Will Johnson's gonna fall. So like they might be the only team that would be okay passing on him. But Johnny Barron's considered the better player. He could play outside. He could play in the slot. He could play safety potentially. Like I think that the Dolphins should be really interested in him because they have nothing at cornerback. They have Storm Duck, sorry Tom, and Cam Smith. So they need cornerback help, but they need everything except for edge rush really and quarterback. Well, I guess they also need a backup quarterback, but and running backs they're fine with too. But everything else is a need for them. But it sounds like Barron's getting a lot of steam too. Like there's chatter about him maybe top 10, but I think that 13 to Miami makes a lot of sense, and I think that cornerback at number 13 is great for them. Although I will say this that Miami source said that their dream pick is Mason Graham. So this would be his absolute floor for some reason. If he fell out of the top 10, Miami would be like dying to get him at 13. But yeah, it sounds like if he's off the board, it sounds like Johnny Barron to me. That says I may put Grant to the Chargers. Yeah. Keep in mind, Kenneth Grant was one of Jim Harbaugh's one of his favorite recruits ever. So he loves this guy. Like, you know, college coaches who come to the NFL don't always take their former guys. Like, it reminds me of like when Pete Carroll's was in Seattle, and like he passed on one of his safeties in favor of another safety, and like people like said he like backstabbed his former safety, which is funny. But no, it was so college coaches don't always take their former players, but I think in this case it would be different because Jim Harbaugh like absolutely loved this guy, and he would be arguably the best player available for them. Fliff, I don't know what that is. Okay, Bagger says whenever there's hard to mock player and hard to mock team, we usually mock them together to reduce mistakes. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Okay, so where am I here? So the 14th pick belongs to the Colts, and we think it's going to be tight end. Tight ends is minus 105. It's not great. There's a chance that both tight ends are off the board. I think that would cause us to backfire, but otherwise, I think that's somewhat safe. Like, I don't know if I'm going to bet this. I don't think I am, but I think it's worth a shot, maybe, if you're really feeling comfortable about it. Remember, like someone crazy could fall to the Colts, and like suddenly they're screwed out of that. Atlanta defensive line for sure. I'd be surprised if they don't take an edge player at this point. Whether it's Michael Williams or Shamar Stewart or maybe Mike Green. I don't think Mike Green, but like he definitely like is worth some consideration there. They could take one of the defensive linemen as well that we talked about. You know. Nolan or Derek Harmon, so that makes sense as well. So yeah, I mean minus 250 though is pretty rough. Arizona, I bet this already plus 170 for defensive line. We know they love those defensive linemen. I don't think offensive line 230 makes much sense. Receiver, the Cardinals want a speed receiver, even though they just drafted Harrison. They want a speed receiver on day 2. So maybe if that's available on Friday as a prop, then maybe you consider it. But yeah, a cornerback as well. They really need a cornerback, but if Barron's off the board, it doesn't sound like there's anyone worth taking. Plus, I was told defensive lineman anyway. So plus 170 is worth betting. I already bet it. So. All right, so the 17th pick belongs to the Bengals. I mentioned Josh Connolly here. The Bengals have been talking him up, and the Bengals are another transparent team. I think that they're going to take him now. You might be wondering, like, why would they take an offensive lineman here? Like, they really need defense. Well, they have 2 holes at guard. Like, that's an issue. Like, they have to protect Joe Burrow. They haven't protected him in the past. They have good tackles, but they don't have guards right now. Like, their starting guards are who? I'm going to look this up real quickly. But, yeah, I mean, it's like all I've been told. Their guards are Cordell Volson and Cody Ford. Like, who? Maybe Lucas Patrick can emerge as a starter, but, like, they can't count on that. Like, they really need guards here. So Josh Connolly is someone they believe can slide into guard and then eventually go to tackle. Like, once someone leaves the tackle, they do like him a lot. But I mean, offensive line at 9-1. Just knowing that, that's something I'm betting for sure. So that's one of the reasons why I'm going to New Jersey today. Now it could still be defensive tackle. I think it's from what I told, best interior offensive lineman or defensive tackle available. Now, like, how do they rank Connerly compared to Derek Harmon? I think that's a good question. I think Harmon could definitely be a pick. I think actually could be one of the Oregon guys. I wish like we could bet these individually. Like, I feel like we were able to we were able to do so before. I think I would bet Harmon. I bet Harmon and I'd bet Connerly to the Bengals if possible. But 9-1 is just too good to pass up. I think just knowing what we know. Denver, I think it's gonna be running back. It's -135. I think Omarion Hampton is the pick. We talked about that yesterday too. So Steelers 21. We might get some leverage here because people think it's gonna be quarterback. Yeah, see, quarterback -110. I'd be shocked if it's a quarterback. I think it's gonna be defensive lineman. That's +250. I think that's a great number. I think Daniel Jeremiah mocked a quarterback to them. I don't know if I took a screenshot of this. I did. Let's see. Yes, he mocked Shedeur Sanders to the Steelers. That was the best thing I ever saw because now people think Shedeur Sanders is going to go to Pittsburgh and like everyone else is saying no. And like the Steelers are very transparent. Like so many people said they don't like Shedeur Sanders. Like this would be the first time that we were led astray by like the Steelers, like publicly, like everyone knew they're going to take Najee Harris. Everyone knew who did they take last year? I can't remember. Like, everyone knew that like they're like which players they're going to take. And now like I was Troy Fautano. We knew they're going to take an offensive lineman. We just didn't know which one was going to get to them. That was the only thing. But like defensive line, I'd be shocked if it's not defensive line. I said this before though. If all the defensive linemen are off the board, Nick Abanawari is someone they love. So he doesn't feel a need at all because they have two good safeties in Fitzpatrick and Elliott. But it's not the craziest thing in the world to bet this, but I am going to bet this. I think I did already, but I'm going to double bet this because we just have such a great number. I think it's too good to pass up. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite ones going to New Jersey tonight. The Chargers, let's see, they are +125 to draft defensive lineman. That's who I'm going to have. I'm going to have them taking Kenneth Grant. Like I said, Jim Harbaugh loves this guy, so if he's available, I'd be pretty shocked if he gets past them. If he does, I think Baltimore is probably his floor. So yeah, I think that's it's definitely the way I'd go there. Let's see here. Why are the Colts drafting a tight end when they can't even throw it to the receivers? Well, I mean, the tight end's a shorter routes, right? So maybe that's why. Euler says AR must be given every opportunity to thrive or fail. Yeah. Also, Daniel Jones. Maybe Daniel Jones is the future. He's not like that old. He was drafted in 2019? No, 2020, 2019. 2019. So he's he's still in his 20s. He never had a chance with the Giants because that roster was so bad. So I don't think it's out of the question that like he can do well in Indianapolis with better coaching, good receivers, a really good offensive line for the first time, great running game behind him. Like he's gonna have everything in Indianapolis. And like he had Saquon Barkley for what, 2 years? Because Barkley got hurt and then he was hurt the next year and then he left. So he had Barkley in 2022 and that was basically it. And then he never had a viable receiver outside of Malik Neighbors this first half of this year. And then he never had a great offensive line. He never had good coaching. So I think there's a chance that he does well in Indianapolis. I don't think it's insane to think that. John says, I missed it. Do you think Cam Ward is going to be the first pick? Yeah. So, John, if you bet $100, you can win 20 cents right now. So fire that up and you can win two dimes for free. Not dimes as in 1,000, but dimes as in 10 cents. Mikey says, do you know if Aaron Rodgers is a done deal or are they comfortable with Rudolph too? I think they're comfortable with Rudolph, but like I think they want Rodgers. Like Rudolph doesn't have the same upside, even though Rodgers is super old. I think they want to sign Rodgers, but I think that like if they go into the season with Rudolph and a quarterback, like I think they'd be okay with it. Like, but not very very satisfied. Bagger says unless he gets his right arm amputated or is deported to El Salvador. Yeah, exactly. John says, if you had $1 million, would you bet Cam Ward to go first overall to win $5,000? No, I'd invested in cover calls and cash for puts and make much more. There's like no reason to do that. I think that, hold on right now. I can tell you exactly how much you can make with cover calls today. This is just 1 week. So let's see. I can tell you 1 second. So it would be 363 times about 40. Yeah, you can make 14 grand just for this week, and then you can do it again next week. That's how much you could get if you had $1 million. You can make 14 grand a week, and that sounds pretty good, right? Because for a month that would be 58 grand. So most people make in a year. Yeah, no, I would not do that. Even though it is a short thing, but like, what if Cam Ward like has that a Bongate sort of situation like Tunsil had? Like what if the day of he gets accused of something by some woman or something, some massage parlor like employee, like suddenly, the Titans are like, I don't know. So yeah, thanks for talking me out of it. Yeah, do cash secure puts and cover calls. You'll make a lot more money. All right. Anyway, so the 23rd pick is the Packers. I bet them to take a receiver. The receiver is let's see, 4.7 to 1. Yeah. So I know they like Hairston, but I know that they like the top two receivers as well. So I think if Golden, I don't think McMillan's falling here. I think if Golden is available, I think he's the pick. If not, I think it's Maxwell Hairston. So that's where I'm leaning here. So if you bet both of these, you can win money either way. I'm just betting receiver. So Vikings are the trickiest team to predict here because they only have 4 picks, and I think they're going to trade down. Cornerback's the favorite. I really don't see anything. Like I feel like it's going to be defensive back, but like once they trade down into maybe the second round, then like it could be anyone really. So I'm not really touching this. Houston is 25. So offensive lineman is minus 370. Now, I said this yesterday. Tony Pauline said that if Mecca Ibuka falls to the Texans, he will not fall past them. If you believe in Tony, he's a good reporter, then I would I bet this plus 410. So it's a good value. I don't know if I'll do it, but I think it might be worth a shot. Although, I mean, the Texans, like it's rumored that they also like Tyler Booker. And I think I'll say in fairness, like I think when Pauline said that Booker wouldn't fall past the Texans, I have to think that he didn't think Booker would be here. Now, like Booker is highly thought of, just great guy in the locker room and everything. So I don't think he's going to make it out of the first round, but like he tested very poorly too, athletically. So some teams just might not be interested in him. So like I think that's the reason why he's going to fall to the 20s. But like we know he's going to go in the 20s, so he's not going to fall out of the first round. So yeah, so like if Booker's here, might be the pick, or Ibuka, we'll see. So that's it's kind of like a tricky situation. So LA Rams, their favorite take a cornerback. I don't know what the Rams are going to do. Kind of befuddled here. I saw a mock draft having the Rams taking Shedeur Sanders, which would be kind of reminiscent of what the Packers did with Jordan Love. I thought that was a big mistake. I still do. So they could have won a Super Bowl with the player they drafted instead of Love. And I know they have Love now, but like they could have found another quarterback. Like it's not that hard, and it's not like Love's amazing or anything. He's good. He's really good. He's talented, but like he's not like an amazing player. So that was definitely a mistake, I think. Even though like the media will tell you otherwise. Did you miss Seattle and Tampa? I must have. I definitely got off track. Oh, you know what it was? Because I started talking about the defensive tackles, and I think I just moved to Pittsburgh. So sorry about that. I will go back to Seattle and Pittsburgh here. So Seattle and Tampa. Seattle, favorite taking offensive lineman. I think it's gonna be an offensive lineman. I don't really have any info here. Tight end might be the floor for like Loveland or something. Receiver, I guess it makes sense. I think offensive lineman, but I don't think it's a good number. And then Tampa linebacker makes the most sense. Charlie Campbell is I think the favorite, should be the favorite to go here, I should say, but he's not the favorite because defensive line edge is the favorite plus 170. I can see like Ezraku going here potentially, but I do think it's going to be Campbell, and so linebacker plus 230 I think is a decent bet. I think I might do that. So my bad about skipping those two teams. I swear I don't hate the Seahawks and Buccaneers. All right, so Ravens. Ravens. I know I said this before. I think Kenneth Grant will be this is his floor. So if he falls to them, I think they would take him. I think safety is definitely a possibility. I think Malachi Starks makes so much sense for them. It'd be like best player available, which like the Ravens always seem to take. But like the Raven, like there's really not much info coming out of the Ravens. So outside of the Kenneth Grant stuff, which I think he's going to be off the board. So I really don't see any edge betting this here. Detroit, though, we do have info in Detroit. Charlie posted this yesterday. He even talked about it. And we have a plus number here, which is great. Plus 185 for the Lions to take an offensive lineman. I will be betting that. Charlie said that the Lions love Tyler Booker. They also like Donovan Jackson. And the Lions prioritize having a great offensive line. Now, we've had Tuamalo going here for a long time. But it sounds like they're comfortable with the like round 2 edge players. Like, you know, there's gonna be like Jack Sawyer available, which fits Dan Campbell to a T. You know, and like these like guards in the 20s. You know, we get Donovan Jackson, Tyler Booker, maybe Gray Zabel falls here. They like these guys, and like Booker is also like Dan Campbell to a T. Like he fits everything Campbell looks for. It just makes so much sense. Plus, they're familiar with him. They scouted Alabama heavily last year with taking Terry Arnold. I think there's a chance to even move up for him. And so I'm going to bet Detroit taking offensive lineman at the first pick. Okay, so team 29 is Washington. So this is something. This is the latest thing that Charlie sent to me. Let's see for a while here. Let's see. Hold on a second. John's 411 super chat. John says used to buy new Wendy's brownie vanilla frosty A+. Interesting. I have not heard about this brownie vanilla frosty. I will try it. It sounds delicious. Thank you, John Sanders, for the tip and the 411 super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, we tend to go to Wendy's over McDonald's and stuff like that, so I will try that for sure. I had not known that existed. Lions OL is plus 250 on DraftKings. Unfortunately, I can't access DraftKings in New Jersey because it can't. My DraftKings app can't read my location, so that's really frustrating. Hopefully, BetMGM has a better number. It's I don't know, it's so annoying. But thanks for the heads up about that. I should definitely check the other odds. Back says if a time travel told you that there were no trades in the first round and Shedeur Sanders was selected, which team would you guess took him? I say Rams. Yeah, I say Rams too. It feels like everyone else does not like him. I think it's gonna be LA in that scenario. Can Mawari or Starks go to Tampa? I don't think so. I think they like Campbell the most, and or maybe an edge player. But like Campbell could play on the edge too, so it just makes a lot of sense. Although I would check to make sure. Actually, just think about it. I'd make sure that they don't mark Campbell down as an edge player. That could ruin your bet. So maybe don't bet that. I don't know. I hate that. Like they could designate him as an edge player. That's like he was an edge player in Alabama, but they moved him to linebackers because they have so many talented edge players. Like I said, he appears to the Ravens for a while. Charlie still does, but now he's not even listed as an alternate possibility that something happened. Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, more possibilities falling to them. I had him as like best player available, but like I'm gonna have him in the second round. Nothing like was reported outside of like character issues for him, which like we already knew. So no, nothing really changed from that perspective. Like you said, who are the other teams whose top 30 correlate to what they might pick? I believe you said Packers yesterday or a couple of days ago. Yeah, Steelers, very heavy, top 30, Eagles. Off the top of my head, actually, I can tell you in a second here. I actually, you know, you could do is you could ask Grok this. Grok will tell you. Let's see. Let's see. I actually asked this here. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, this is why I wish we had like a co-host here because I could tell you guys. I could have the co-host talk while I look this up. Okay, so so here's the list. So Eagles, as said before, Bears, Panthers, Cowboys, Giants, Steelers. So yeah, and then Packers too. So yeah, those would be the teams most frequently taking the top 30 visits. Detroit needs to go offense since the idiots on defense will put each other on IR. Yeah, it's true. And then, will Cam Ward be the new face of the AFC? Have Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow been put on notice? I like Cam Ward. I don't know. I mean, he's not Jaden Daniels or anything like that. So I don't know. Although Clarence Hill might call me a racist for saying that. Clarence Hill is just a bozo. If you haven't seen his tweet today about Shedeur Sanders, definitely worth looking at. Made fun of him quite a bit today. But no, I mean, a new face. No, I mean, no, I think he's definitely well behind those guys. But he could be a good player. I like him more. I don't know if I love him, but I think he's good. He could be good. So anyway, okay. So here's the news on the Redskins. Charlie told me today, a few hours ago, actually, that the Redskins love Tyler Booker. We expect to be gone, and Maxwell Hairston. And I was kind of confused about Hairston. I was like, because they just traded for Marshawn Lattimore, and they Mike Sanders still, but I guess they could play Sanders still in the slot, and then they could have they could have Hairston and Lattimore outside. So it does make sense. Now I'm gonna have Harrison off the board in my mock draft, but I might change this, and I don't know where I'm gonna put Azaraku at that point. I might mock him to the Eagles, but we'll see. But anyway, so that's what we heard from Charlie, that the Redskins love Booker and Harrison, and it's very, very significant because we know that the Lions and potentially the Texans like Booker. So unless they trade up, they're probably not going to get Booker. So Harrison just makes a lot of sense. Harrison could be off the board too. You know, the Rams could take him. Vikings, they stay put at 24. They can take him. But like, there's not that many teams that can take him. Feels like Booker is the longer shot to be available. So I think Harrison is the play there. So plus 340 for cornerback for the Redskins. That's something I'm going to be betting in New Jersey in a few hours. Let's see. Have you seen rumors of Pierce to Atlanta? Thoughts at 15? Atlanta generally has like a major policy about taking high character guys. So I would be pretty surprised if they took Pierce. Do you see anyway 2 tight ends in the top 10? Yeah, I mean, it could happen if the Jets take him, Jets take Warren, and then if the Saints or Bears love Loveland, then like they could definitely take him. I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think it'll happen, but it could definitely happen. Anyway, so that's significant news about the Redskins. We go to the Bills, which we don't really have info on. Although I'm kind of surprised about that. I should ask Charlie about that. So defense line edge -105, quarterback plus 175. I think quarterback's worth a play there, but that's not based on anything. I'm not going to bet this, but I don't think it's a bad number. So Chiefs at 31. Offensive line is the favorite, rightfully so. They really need blocking, but it could be something else. They could take a corner, defensive lineman. That makes sense. So I don't think I would bet this. We have no info on them. And then Eagles at 32. I know that they love Malachi Starks, but probably not going to be available, right? So there's someone to watch out for in day 2. Now, if they don't get Malachi Starks, keep this in mind on Friday. I know they like Xavier Watts a lot too. So they could. I was even told that they could trade up for Xavier Watts in the second round. So moving from 64 to like 48, 50, something like that. So yeah, I think that like safety to the Eagles in the second day, if you're capable of betting that, if it's even available, just keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I know that they have interest in Mike Green. Now, I don't completely know how they feel about him character-wise, but I know they love him as a talent, and like the Eagles have taken troubled players before, and it's worked out for them. So defensive line plus 110, that's probably where I'd lean, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to bet this, but hopefully on Friday we're going to get a good number for them taking the safety in the second round. Vikings are not taking a cornerback. Okay, well, they could just be trading out. I don't know. Why? Tell us why the Vikings aren't going to take a cornerback. It's interesting. John said Tomlin tried 3 white guys at quarterback in 2023, didn't work. Tried 2 black guys in 2024, didn't work. That's logical stuff is a mulatto. I thought you were gonna say like Asian guy or Indian. Curtis O'Rourke, this yours is a lock. Okay, there you go. I don't know if like Timmy Chang had a son or something. You could put like Asian quarterback, or I don't think there's an Indian quarterback. Wasn't there like an Indian quarterback like the XFL or something? like a long time ago. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. I think you might be onto something, John. Or they just suck at quarterbacks. They should just find a good quarterback. I've heard rumors that they like Jalen Milroe, but not enough to take him at 21. And the problem is they don't have a second round pick. So I think they're just banking on Aaron Rodgers. And if they don't take a quarterback in round 3, I heard that they kind of like Kyle McCord, the quarterback from Syracuse. So like early early round 4, early day 3. Kyle McCord, the quarterback from Syracuse, I think could be a pick. Tyson Fama-Chanan is the only thing I want to think of. Okay. Sam Howell is part Korean, I think. I think Kyler Murray's part Korean too, isn't he? He's either part Korean or part Japanese. If I remember correctly, I think he's like a quarter. So yeah, maybe they could trade for him. I don't know. And says, sorry, just joined. Did we talk about Membu? Jeremiah mocked him to the Raiders. I think Jeremiah mocked Kelvin Banks to the Raiders, and that's why the odds of Kelvin Banks skyrocketed to like he's the favorite to the Raiders. But like I mentioned this before, like Daniel Jeremiah is a great draft analyst. He's been the 3rd most accurate mock drafter over the past decade. Charlie's been number 1, and he's been number 1 by a mile. Like no one's been close. And he has sources with the Raiders. So like, and also he said that Membu to the Raiders was his favorite draft prop bet. So I'm gonna trust Charlie on that one. But I do respect Jeremiah. I just don't know if this is like probably not sourced information. He has sources, but I don't think necessarily he has one with the Raiders. Okay, yeah, Murray does. Yeah, exactly. They could trade for Kyler Murray if the Cardinals get a quarterback in the future. Murray has to be part Asian, and he's into video games. It's true. Steelers need Drew Lock. Then if you know, you know. Okay. All right, fair enough. Do you like any of the players specific over-unders? Someone mentioned to me, I think it was in this chat, that Will Johnson over, they've been pounding on Bet365. So I definitely like that. I'm going to try to access Bet365 again. I'm not hoping, I'm not like expecting to be able to access it because I've never been able to. But who knows? Maybe I did update the app, so maybe it'll work. So let's look through those. Armand Membu 7.5. I think I would take the under for sure. Even like -172 is not great, but like he's going 6 or 7. Like I don't think he's gonna fall. I think this might be worth a bet, even though the big kind of sucks. I was expecting like -250, honestly. -172 is not bad. So I think I might be looking to bet that. Ashton Genty is, but the juice is insane. Under it was -600. There's no reason to bet that. Loveland 14.5. I would say under, but -260. Don't bet that. Egbuka 26.5. The under. I would lean under because he could go to the Packers or the Texans. But I would rather, if I'm betting -172, I'm going to bet on Membo. John A. Barron over under 17.5. Well, here's something. I mean, I was just told the Dolphins like him. So, and there's been chatter about him in the top 10. I don't think it's going to happen, but like we know the Jets like him. So if the Jets trade down, they can take him. So yeah, under 17.5 looks good at plus money. That's really good. Jalen Milroe 38.5. I have in my final mock draft, I have him going to the Giants in the second round. So this would be under, but I think it's right on the border. This is coin flip, nothing here. Jalen Walker under 8.5 is -210. Just bet him to go to the Panthers. You're getting a much better number. It's less certainty, but you're getting a much better number. Jackson Dart at 25.5. I would bet the over. It is -152. I don't love it. Some team could trade up for him. The Vikings are a sweet spot because they only have 4 picks, so they could trade down. So, I'm not going to bet this one. Jihad Campbell is 19.5. So I think under, but he does have some injury issues that scare me. So he could potentially fall. I think under is the play though. I don't know if it's worth betting, but that's the way I would go if I were betting it. Kelvin Banks, who I have trouble slotting here, is over under 7.5. So the Jaguars are going Genty. The Raiders, we think, is going Membo. And then the only question is the Jets. If the Jets don't take Banks, this is guaranteed over. So I think this -118 is worth betting. I would go crazy with it because the Jets can still take him. But really, I mean, doesn't really make sense. Like Banks is the left tackle and Olufashano is the left tackle. So are they going to take two left tackles? I mean, look, the NFL teams sometimes don't do logical things. Like the Jets could do this, but man, I don't think so. I think Banks is going over. So I think I'm going to bet that. Okay, Malachi Starks, 24.5. It's probably all right. He could go to the Vikings if they stay put. He could go a little earlier, so nothing here. Mason Graham, 7.5. It's about right. Nothing here either. Golden is 18.5. I have him going 23, but he could certainly go under. I think if McMillan's off the board at 12, I think he goes 12 to the Cowboys. So I don't think this is worth betting. Michael Williams, 10.5. I have him going over 10.5, but he could go 9 to the Saints, and that's an issue. He could also go 10 to the Bears. I think he's a good fit for the Bears for what they do. Hampton is 20.5. It's a fair number. I would just bet Denver to take a running back at that point. Sanders is 21.5. Ooh, definitely go over 21.5. Why is that over 21.5 is plus money? That's wild. That's insane. That doesn't make any sense. Just definitely bet that one. I don't know. Maybe the Browns trade up to him, but like 21 is the Steelers. They're not going to trade with the Steelers. I don't think Denver's trading down. They could trade up to. Why would the Browns trade up to 19? Like, I don't know. I would definitely go over here. All right. So Shamar Stewart, 15.5. I think he has a lot of outs under 15.5. He has the Falcons, he has the Niners, he has the Saints, maybe the Bears. So yeah, under looks okay, but then again, like he just sucked in college. Like he could definitely fall. McMillan is not getting past the Cowboys, but minus 215 kind of sucks. I think I would just bet the Cowboys take a receiver. Tyler Warren is actually, you know what? I think I would just bet McMillan under 12.5. Tyler Warren, 10.5. I think he goes on there, but minus 215 sucks as well. And then Will Johnson over 24.5. It's looking that way. It's really looking that way. I think I bet the over, but I think we had a chat saying that Will Johnson was. Let's see. We had some sort of chat about Will Johnson about that over on there on BetMGM or Bet365. I can't remember who said it exactly, but. Yeah, I think that's worth going back in the chat to see what they were saying. I can't find it at the moment, so I don't want to like bore you guys and just scrolling through the old chats. I don't know, but I do remember someone talking about it. Oh, here we go. Oh, I was wrong. Sorry, it was Sanders over at 21.5. Not Will Johnson. Sorry, I thought it was Will Johnson over. No, Sanders over 21.5 plus 130. So that's better than the number we're getting here at FanDuel. So. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was Will Johnson over. Okay, so I didn't get anything Will Johnson over before. So over 24.5. I think he plummets. Like I said, Daniel Jeremiah didn't have him in the first round. I don't have him in the first round right now. I'm kind of curious if Charlie is going to have him in the first round. Charlie has not submitted his mock draft yet for tomorrow, so he might have him in the first round as well. So out of the first round as well. So. We'll see. He just has a lot of injury issues. Like his knee is very concerning to teams, and also he had a very poor workout. So I think that he's going to fall. Barron minus 70 to the second defensive back. It's a bad number. Minus 170. There's no value there, but I think it'll happen, especially with Will Johnson plummeting. So like. Maybe it's not that bad of a number actually, just because Will Johnson's starting to fall. Although, like I said before, the Dolphins I don't think the Dolphins are out on Will Johnson. And I think that could be a potential foil for betting the over because the Dolphins can still take him. As I said before, the Dolphins have no issues taking injured players. So yeah, but I do think Barron should be the second defensive back for sure. Let's see what here. Josh says tomorrow we're going to wake up the news that the Titans signed Aaron Rodgers. I actually thought he was going to go to the Titans. early in the offseason just because he has property in Tennessee. He's friends with the front office people, but he wants to play for a Super Bowl contender. Obviously, the Titans are not. Why is Jalen going to the draft? I think they want someone for day 2. I think that's just it. Jets taking Warren. They have a new front office. Yeah, exactly. And plus, there might be FOMO from the owner missing out on Bowers. He might just push for it. There's absolutely no way Banks was top 7. What? That almost seems to be true, but I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't think he does either. All it takes is one GM. Why are we paying $40 million QB to hand the ball up to $12 million running back? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Anyway, okay, so we did that one. Bears minus 110 to be the first quarterback taken. Yeah, I like. Well, first quarterback outside of Hunter, hopefully. But yeah, I like that for sure. Seems to be a good bet based on your knowledge. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, we answered that one. Can Shamar Stewart play as a stand-up consistently in a 3-4? Can he play his 270 combine weight with much less power, or is he game weight, which was like 290? So yeah, I thought that I thought he would be potential 5 technique in 3-4. But he did lose weight, so now I'm wondering about that. So I would not put him as a linebacker in the 3-4. I think that he's a 4-3 end, or like if anything, he's a 5 technique over an outside linebacker in the 3-4. So yeah, Bagger says you may as well bet into the Dolphins at that point. Exactly, yeah. Bad workout and injury issues. Yeah, about Will Johnson. Then you cannot bet anyone past the 10th pick. Yeah, it sucks. Like I wish you could bet like every first rounder. Like we would get such great value. Maybe that's why they stopped it. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But I mean, we work with what we can, and we do have some good bets. We might get something tomorrow. If we do get something tomorrow, I'll announce it either on the draft blog or or on the betting props page. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Like last year, we got like an 11th hour text from Charlie saying that the Falcons would take Penix, and I posted that in the draft blog. I'm like, hey guys, like I would bet Michael Penix to the Falcons right now. So that was pretty wild. So hopefully we get something from Charlie tomorrow. Mike says, Walt, do you remember when the team with the first overall pick could sign him several days before the draft? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was the good old days, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, the Titans basically announced that Campbell was going to be the pick. But yeah, I mean, it was different then because the contracts weren't like in today's NFL. The contracts are certain like stacked a certain way for draft picks. So like what you made, like what your slot is, like kind of determines what you're going to get. But like they would have to negotiate before, and then like there were much more holdouts beforehand with the rookies. So it's definitely worse from that perspective. But yeah, you used to know days in advance, so like because they'd be on the contract. It was pretty wild. Do you do any live bets on draft day? Unfortunately, no. Well, I can't because I live in Pennsylvania and I don't have access to like FanDuel and DraftKings for NFL draft props. Like I can't even see them. The only reason they're on the screen here is because if you look at the URL, it says nj.sportsbook.fanduel. I just changed the URL to New Jersey. If I change this to here we go. Let me show you guys. If I change this to PA, I think it'll disappear. It won't even show up. There you go. Yeah, at pa.sportsbook.fanduel.com. There's nothing for draft. I can't even see anything. Like it won't even show me the odds. So like that's why I had to go nj. Whatever. It's so stupid. I hate this stupid state. They ruined Rainmakers for me. I had to go to New Jersey every week for that. They don't let you bet certain stuff. Like it's so stupid. The state sucks. Don't move to Pennsylvania. It's not like I guess it's not the worst, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, so yeah, I won't be doing. I don't have access to it. So yeah, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. If I did have access to it, I think I'd definitely consider it. Is there a way to bet Sanders over? Is there a way to bet Sanders over 2.5 quarterbacks taken? Could see Dart and Milrow going above him. I don't know what that means. Like we bet Stewart. We bet under 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round. Do you mean Sanders to be the 4th quarterback taken? I don't see anything like that. So would Rodgers crash the Green Bay draft? That would be fun. I know some people from Green Bay, the Wisconsin area, who are going to the draft. So I hope they have a good time, including Butters. Butters, who comes on the show sometimes, he's going to the draft. So I hope he has a great time. John says, to be like 10,000 NYS cars, the first Ohio rest stop, live betting the draft. Exactly. We need Walt's football as a gambling czar. Yes, absolutely. I'll take the job, Mr. President Trump, if you're listening. You happen, for some reason, if you happen to be listening to the show, I will gladly take the job. Yeah, free betting for everyone. You can bet whatever you want, wherever you are. How about that? I hate these stupid things. The fact you can't even see the odds in Pennsylvania it's just mind-boggling. At least at least gray them out. Like, hey, if you're in New Jersey, you can bet these, But like, you can't even see them. It's so bizarre. Like why? Like, why can't you bet the draft? It's so stupid. Anyway, as I said before, this needs to be a shorter show because I need to update my mock draft and I need to head out to New Jersey again to bet this. So it's probably like going to be like an hour, 20-minute trip, so it's not too bad, but it still eats up time at night. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of updates to my mock draft. So Bovada, don't use them. Has the proper over under 2.5 dogs shown during the draft. If you have a lean here, you can also bet on it if a player wears a cheese hat. Bovada removed itself from Pennsylvania, so you can't even bet Bovada in Pennsylvania. I had to cash out. So yeah, I can't even do that. Over under 2.5 dogs shown during the draft. It's so bizarre. That's true. It's so bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. I can't answer. I don't know. I would say under dogs, and then I would say no to cheese hat. And Alice says, thank you so much, guys, for watching, commenting. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow after the draft. So probably like around 12:15, 12:30 a.m. So after the first round, we'll be talking about all the grades and stuff. So looking forward to it. I hope you guys have a great time watching the draft. It's gonna be fun, and hopefully we get a lot of bets right. So this is dogs. How many wives? Place one. All right, so yeah, guys, thank you so much. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. I really appreciate it. Chris says, good luck tomorrow. May your site run perfectly all day. Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed. It's always, was it a few years ago? The site crashed completely from 4:30 p.m. till midnight. We lost so much revenue then. It was a disaster. That's why I had the disclaimer on my mock draft page. I'm like, please be a premium sub because we earned $0 in the draft. That's usually our best revenue day of the year. Like, imagine if like Hallmark was closed on Valentine's Day, like all the Hallmarks are closed down. Like that. That's the sort of like revenue loss we had. So yeah, I mean, we really never really recovered from that. We're always like chasing the revenue. Like it just sucked, but. Whatever guys you contribute is just definitely really appreciated. But yeah, like I said, I need to get back to work here. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun watching the draft, and we'll be back tomorrow. And have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.